Hi, my name is Anas Alabasi, and this is a presentation about the Viking Mars space mission. In the early 1960s, NASA started to design a plan that would eventually send astronauts to Mars. Being that no human has ever been on Mars till this day, we can conclude that this plan fizzled out. Originally, NASA wanted to send the Saturn V rocket, and it was the spacecraft that facilitated the Apollo 11 moon landing. Original plan was to send the spacecraft into an unmanned trip on uh, with the goal being the red planet. However, after careful consideration, several engineers and planners from a NASA laboratory in Pasadena, California, were not confident in the success of any possible attempts. Eventually, NASA's Manned Spacecraft Center put out an official request to the other departments for ways to return samples from Mars and Venus with the use of astronauts within the years 1975 and 1982. This infuriated acting chairman Joseph Carth and eventually led to the cancellation of the Voyager space mission. Here you can see the Saturn V rocket, the first spacecraft that was originally meant to land on Mars. In 1975, NASA composed a new, more sustainable plan to obtain the first full photographs of Mars. In a full-fledged rocket, NASA sent two spacecrafts, both with an orbiter and a lander. These were fittingly given the names Viking 1 and Viking 2, respectively. 10 months, Viking 1 arrived at Mars on June 19, 1976. Followed by a month of circulation, the lander eventually detached itself a month later and landed at Christ Planitia. Contrary, due to Viking 2 being launched from Earth about 3 weeks later, it arrived at Mars on August 7, 1976, and landed at Utopia Planitia on September 3, 1976, after another month of circulation. Both spacecraft set out to do the same thing, obtaining high-resolution pictures of Mars and eventually hoping to find evidence of a life form. Pictured below, you can see both Viking 1 and Viking 2. See the orbiters and the landers on both spacecrafts. Pictured above here is the very first photo to ever be taken from Mars' surface from the US. The Soviet Union attempted to do the same in 1971, but failed since the spacecraft that was sent collapsed before it was late. The pictures captured by the Soviet Union weren't high resolution and weren't complete. These missions were deemed a success. As seen in photos, the Viking experiments gave a thorough grasp of the Martian topography, showcasing many things included but not limited to volcanoes, lava plains, canyons, craters, and surface water. Mars seems to be divided into two primary regions, the southern highlands with craters and the northern flat plains. These regions are surrounded by the volcanic bulges, Tharsis and Elysium, and a group of gigantic canyons close to the equator, otherwise known as Valles Marineris. Iron-rich clay soil was present at both landing sites. Seasonal dust storms and pressure variations were also spotted. The biological experiment came up empty-handed. As you can see here, there's Valles Marineris and Elysium Planitia, both taken. Here are some miscellaneous facts about the space mission. Northern and southern hemispheres are drastically different climatically because of the global dust storms that originate in the south hemisphere in the summer. Also, changes in the Martian surface occur extremely slowly, at least at the Viking landing sites. Only a few small changes took place during the mission lifetime, which was about 3 years. Lastly, the Viking mission was planned to continue for 90 days after landing. Each orbiter and lander operated far beyond its design lifetime. Viking Orbiter 1 exceeded 4 years of active flight operations in Mars' orbit. To conclude, the Viking Mars space mission is integral in the illustrious space exploration. Many eye-opening things were discovered about the planet, and we also received the first ever photo of its surface from the US. Furthermore, while the Viking mission was obviously extremely successful, it also left a lot to be desired and provided a good foundation for future Mars missions. Thank you.